Hi, I'd like to start by paying respect to the traditional owners of the land, the Boonwurrung and Wurundjeri people of the Kulin Nation, and pay respect to their elders, past, present and emerging, who have been creating art on this land for tens of thousands of years. Hello, my name's Kenny Pittock. I'm a Melbourne-based artist and I mostly work with clay, painting and drawing. Today, here at the National Gallery of Victoria, we're going to do some drawing together. So welcome to Drop by Drawing. All we're going to need for today is something to draw with. I'm just using a grey lead. And then something to draw on. I've got a piece of paper. Before we get to any of that, we have to do a bit of a warm-up. So we're going to start by warming up our fingers, a bit of a finger exercise, and then we move on to wrists, just warm up our wrists, and then finally we do our shoulders, just get any of the tension out. All the great artists, this is what they do. And okay, we're out of time. Sorry, maybe we will get to some drawing next time. Just kidding. Apparently it's impossible to draw a perfect circle, but I think we could probably do that. So, just try and draw a circle as perfectly as you can. Is that perfect? It's pretty close. But now try and do it with your opposite hand. So if you're left-handed, use your right hand, and if you're right-handed, use your left hand. Maybe I'm left-handed. And now we're going to try one more time with our preferred hands, but with our eyes closed. And see if we can do it without looking at the paper. Ooh, probably I'll keep my eyes open in the future when I'm drawing. The next thing we're going to do with these circles is turn them into snails. So we'll make the circle a bit of a shell, and then a bit of a happy snail coming out of the shell. And then we'll find out which of the circles made the best snail. I think the one with my eyes closed actually turned out to be the best snail of the group. These snails are all keeping a safe distance from each other. Using the side of your pencil, draw a little path where the snail has been. The snail's going over there. The snail's travelling over there. So there's a nice space between them. You've heard of social distancing. Well, this is slow shell distancing. So I'll just write slow shell distancing. Okay, social distancing. Okay. So we've got a new piece of paper this time, and we're going to draw another circle. And now we're going to turn this circle into a cup of tea. So draw your circle and then turn it into a nice cup of tea. And then you might want to put a little saucer around it, maybe even a spoon. Maybe it's a cup of coffee actually, and you do a little pattern in the froth, a little love heart perhaps. And then using the side of your pencil, and if you've got an eraser handy, you could use that to kind of smudge the froth a little bit. And then maybe to finish off this drawing, you go back to our old friend the snail, and he's climbing up the cup, about to have a drink. And he's made his way over the spoon, past the saucer, and from over there somewhere. Okay. So while we're here, let's have a look at some of the paintings around us. This one that took my eye is called The Melon. It's by Édouard Manet. It was painted in 1880, 140 years ago. Edward sat down with his paintbrush and a melon in front of him, and he made this work. I think the black background makes it very dramatic, which really contrasts with the subject matter, which is a melon. And still lifes were obviously very popular back then, they still are now. That's something that we can all do as a way of getting better at drawing or painting, make art about the things that are around us. So why don't we all go to the kitchen, grab a piece of fruit or a vegetable, and we'll try and do what Edward's done here. So once you've got your piece of fruit or your vegetable, put it on a table in front of you, and think about where the window is and where the shadow is coming off. So the shadow is very important in this work. As well as it all being very dark, you can see the highlights on the piece of fruit. When I think of watermelon, I don't think so much of a full one. I like it to be cut into quarters. Using colored pencils, I will just color in my watermelon. I wonder if that watermelon would look like this if it was cut open. It's hard to know, isn't it? I wonder if Ed would ever painted another one of it cut open. It's always very fun to draw like food because you get to eat it afterwards. I always say, why make a masterpiece when you can make a master feast? This is a seedless watermelon. I'm not going to draw seeds in my watermelon because then I won't have to spit them out. And it's less drawing. So we have a seedless watermelon. Drawing seeds can be fun too, so I'll draw a seed over here. I'll just color that in using the grey lead. And that is a watermelon-less seed. So there we go, a seedless watermelon and a watermelon-less seed. How's your vegetables going, or your fruits? I'm gonna draw, this time, a cauliflower. I bet if Manet had cauliflower handy, he probably would have drawn that instead of a melon, because cauliflower is great. So I'm gonna make mine quite a happy cauliflower. There we go. Nice happy cauliflower. Because if you were a cauliflower, you would be happy. A lot of people paint flowers. Less people paint cauliflowers. I'm going to do another cauliflower. This one, he's got a bit more in his mind. He's a worried cauliflower. He's a bit more melancholic. So we'll call him a melon cauliflower. Cauliflower, melon cauliflower. Next, I'll show you how to draw a pear. Okay, so I'm going to start from the top just so that I don't smudge it. That's a tip. Okay, so there's the leaf. There's a little stem. And then give it a bit of definition. And then give it a bit of weight. Sometimes if you don't want to do a shadow underneath it, another way to give a drawing weight is to just make the bottom of the drawing thicker lined. And that just makes it emphasize that that's where all the gravity is pushing down. And then I might draw a little Australia, and then there. That's meant to be the world. So you can turn your fruit into a world map if you like. And now this one I'm going to call there. The whole world's gone pear-shaped. And there you go. I'm going to draw one more pear, starting at the leaf again. The more you draw something, the better you get at drawing it. So, well, actually this pear is worse than the last pear, so maybe that's not true. Practice makes perfect. So this pear, I'm going to give him or her or them a little bit of a face. And there's the pear. It's a happy pear, this one. He's got a bit of they've got a bit of a speech bubble coming out, and they're saying, I hope you have a particularly fruitful day, which is what all pears are saying. Thank you for drawing along. I also hope you're having a particularly fruitful day. See ya.